in the county itself.
Not in terms of the votes. We're talking about counting. I'm asking, before you start even counting, at the close of voting, before you start counting, to verify, there are two things that happen at the end of counting. One, you verify how many ballots were issued. Is that correct?
Correct.
In terms of just reconciling when you started and when you finished. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then two, in terms of the deployment of the KIMS kit, which you say was used throughout, they can also allow to verify from the KIMS kit how many voters were identified through the KIMS kit. Is that correct?
Yes.
That information is given by the presiding officer. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And it is your evidence from the reports you're given that your agents were allowed to get this information either by looking at the KIMS kit or even by taking photographs. Is that correct?
I think the electoral laws are quite clear. All agents had the right to verify up to and what the bill says.
From the presiding officers?
From the electoral body.
From the IBC?
Exactly.
In a polling station, thank you. So that's just a polling station. In terms of the, now I'm going to the next stage. In terms of the results that you have produced, and thank you for doing that, this in paragraph 8. Can you confirm that the documents you produced here were transmitted to you, or they were brought to you, whether they were sent or brought physically, counting in the respective polling station?
That's in order.
That's true?
That's correct.
That's correct. Do you remember when that was?
Yes. Remember, different counting polling stations have different number of registered votes.
That's true.
Implying that the speed with which the tallying and the declaration of results will happen differ.
That's okay. When was the first one? When you received the first one when?
Allow me to finish, please.
Okay.
So, as and when each station will be closed, I mean, result declared and closed, the respective presiding officers have been allowing the items that are present for the respective parties to take copies,
yes,
and if necessary, photos of the respective Form 34S.
And were available even copies, aren't it? Where it was possible, copies were not photographs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my question was, and that was, you finished your answer. When did you receive your first form?
It is a function of when the immediate polling station closed and concluded their respective things.
Yes, we have agreed on that. I'm asking just, do you remember when you received the first one? Was it on the 9th night? On the night of 9th?
The election we had on 9th, right?
Yes.
So, yes, in the night of 9th.
And the last one?
Within that night.
The same night, on
Yes.
the 9th?
Yes.
So all the results for Wajir West were with you on the 9th when you started doing what you call the tally?
Some of them, because of the respective terrains,
Yes.
had to come in and the being concluded quite late into the night.
Early on the 10th,
Yes.
early in the morning, past midnight.
Yes.
No, that's okay. I'm just confirming just the time you received them. So these forms that you have produced here are the ones you received from your agents in Wajir West on the night of voting to early the next day on the 10th.
Absolutely.
So all these results were ready, they had been announced and been made available even at the respective polling stations. Is that correct?
Yes, they were made available, but coming into my attention, of course, by form of those respective forms of remittances,
Yes.
this could not have necessarily just happened by the early part of 10, but even within the course of the next 10.
The next day on the 10th.
Yes.
But the last one you received maybe early
Within
on
the
the 10th.
10, yeah, within
On the 10th. That's what I confirm. Thank you. What I'm asking is that by the time that the last one you received by 10th, by 10th you are ready with your form to enable you to tally. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can work with 10th, maybe let's say midnight.
Or the 9th. When did you first report to the tallying center? Remember you told the judge you are a tallying agent and a chief agent. When did you report to the tallying center?
I reported to the tallying center on the evening of the 9th.
On the evening of the 9th?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm interested in is what steps were being taken by IBC at the tallying center to verify the results from Wajir West. Would you kindly just briefly tell the judge what happened when the results came from a respective polling station? and the presiding officer was bringing the results to the returning officer, what process was deployed at the tallying center?
Okay, I think IBC will be in a better position to explain the details. However,
from what you saw.
to my knowledge,
Yes.
you see, the tallying center is the point at which amalgamation of the data is done, right?
Yes.
That means it can only kick into activity from the evening of the 9th. I mean, the respective stations will be working up to 5 p.m., implying that subsequent to this, the counting will take place. A couple of hours down the line is when maybe results can be transmitted.
Yeah, so my question was, were you the one in charge of that process on behalf of Honorable Ahmed Jir, verifying the results at the tallying center, is my question.
Yes.
You are the chief agent. You said you're the chief tallying agent.
Correct.
Yeah, or the tallying agent. Okay. When the results came to the tallying center, I'm taking you somewhere. When the results came to the tallying center from the presiding officers in Wajir West, what was the process? That's the question I'm asking you. So the presiding officers come with the ballot boxes for the 6 elections. I'm more interested in the one for member of National Assembly. The S series, was it handed over to the presiding officer?
Okay, you see, there were 2 parties here.
Yes.
There was myself, who was representing my candidate,
Yes.
and there's IBC, which is an independent institution, right?
Yes.
So, yes, we went into the hall were open, of course, at the right times, the counting halls, that is. So, the respective presiding officers were sending their data to their respective, I mean, to the constituency returning officer, right?
Yes.
Now, on my side now, I was not into what they are doing, right? Because I was an independent party.
So you do not know what verification was done by IBC, is my question.
Okay, allow me to repeat this. IBC were, I presume they were collecting data from the
presuming.
IBC was collecting the data sent to them by their respective presiding officers.
Yes.
I presume that was
Presume.
that is the case.
You're not
because-
sure. Well, because I wanted to ask you a question of that process there, because you are there at the tallying center. In terms of when the forms came, was the returning officer showing the tallying agent, because that's what the tallying process is, that this is a form from, let's say, Arbajahan Primary School. This is the original form brought by the presiding officer. Then you verify before he projects it on the screen. That's the process I want you to confirm to the judge, because that's important for 2 paragraphs in your affidavit.
Yes, indeed.
Was that happening?
Yes.
So just confirm, as a chief agent, no one else can really speak to this on behalf of the first respondent. What verification was being done by IBC?
Okay, I think we are again taking me back to what IBC is supposed to be doing. However, IBC was sort of, like you said earlier, showing the data, I mean, from the perspective of the Form 37As.
So they were looking at the Form 37A, confirming the original has been submitted,
Yes,
and then showing it to the agents present. Is that correct?
of course, yes.
Were they verifying any other information from the presiding officers?
You see, the nitty-gritty as to how IBC was doing their tallying on their side will be independent of me.
No, that's okay.
Yes,
The answer is you do not know.
yes.
You do not know. Thank you. Now, 2 questions. As the chief agent, do you know that a returning officer at the constituency, for all the results brought to the constituency tallying center, can reject results at only under 2 circumstances, the ones that come from the presiding presiding officers? Are you aware?
Maybe you can explain what this will
Okay.
be.
Yeah. So one, this is in Regulation 83. You said you were trained, so maybe this is one of the ones that you are trained. When the Form 37A or any of the A series, the total number of votes cast exceed the registered voters in that polling station. Are you aware of that? Is that true?
Yes.
So are they checking for that?
Yes, they were checking.
They were checking for that. Okay. And the second instance, which the law allows them to reject, because that's what their work is, as a returning officer, is when the results declared exceeds the number of voters who turned out to vote, who are identified to vote. Are you aware of that? Under Regulation 83.
Yes.
Okay. My question is on the second one. Were they doing that verification on those 2 counts? Was the returning officer in Wajir West and Griftu for Wajir West doing that process?
Okay. This will be an IBC task.
Yes.
However,
Yeah. To the best of your recollection?
To the best of my understanding and recollection, they were, of course, reviewing the data that came from respective police stations.
Okay.
And they did not, of course, I presume, there were no discrepancies, and
so
they were able to show all the agents that were there.
What were they showing you? That's important. They were reviewing the data. What data were they reviewing?
Reviewing in the sense that they were confirming to the respective agent
Yes.
that indeed from 37As from every other polling station has come as and when it's brought into by the respective presiding officers.
Were they verifying how many voters turned out to vote? That's my question.
Yes, they were.
How are they doing that?
They were checking their data in the sense that the Form 37As is what they were reviewing.
Only from 37A?
Vis-a-vis, of course, the Kim's kit. I'm assuming that happened at...
I think Kim's kit. You are taking me where I want
Kim's
to
kit
go.
in the sense of, you see, according to the electoral laws, I suppose, the respective presiding officers
Yes.
were sending maybe their update of data and the status of the ongoing
Yes.
to the returning officer.
Okay, so at the tallying center, where you work as chief agent, did they verify, did they show you as the chief agent for Ahmed Jir that in this polling station, let's say the first one was Wajahan, these are the number of voters who identified, this is from 37A, confirmed that this form has not exceeded the number of voters who turned out to vote before I project them and I announce them. Were they doing that?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so the Kim's kits, it's your evidence. All the Kim's kits were brought to the tallying center and this information was given to the... So it was impossible to verify the data from all polling stations. Let's look at your tallying sheets now. That question was tied to your tallying sheet. You have it at page 159 of the affidavit. You've seen that?
Correct.
Lord,
Yes, I can see
page
that.
159 to 160. To 160, so I think up to 164, just before the Form 37. Is that correct? You did who generated this information? You referred to this in your affidavit? Are you the one who was inputting this data in your laptop?
Okay, allow me to explain this.
Yeah, please.
You see, we had respective appointed agents at the polling stations, right?
Yes.
Once the countings and the tallings were concluded at the respective stations, IBC, of course, is legally conditioned to allow polling agents for the different political parties to get copies of the Form 37S.
That's
Right?
agreed.
That's agreed.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, like I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
the respective polling agents for my candidate had transmitted to us, myself, as the chief agent,
Yes.
copies of this Form 37S.
We are
Right.
up there. Yes.
Now, I had to independently sort of collect the data that I was getting from my agent. Because of course IBC was doing their own independently, because that's the electoral body. So as an agent for my candidate, I had to do it also based on the actual
Form 37
size
is
from 37S from the respective polling agents.
That's okay. My question was, now, do you have your form? This is your tallying sheet.
Correct.
But do you have any data here in your tally on the number of voters who turned out to vote? Was that information given by IEBC? Is my question. As you're doing the verification of the tallying center.
Okay.
It is not reflected. What I'm asking is not reflected in your tallying sheet.
I will take you where.
Say?
I will show you where it's reflected.
Okay, just show me.
Wajir West has
Let's start with 159.
Allow me to explain this, please. Wajir West has 102 polling stations. The respective 102 polling agents had been sending the contact surveillance that I collected.
Okay.
Now, what you're asking is whether we can get the number of votes that were cast in total, right? So I will take you to.
No, that's not the question.
I will take you to page 167 where you were able to see the number of votes that were cast, the valid votes that were cast, as well as the total rejected votes that might have
Well,
been.
this is the tally. Now, what that is,
So this is a summary of the entire Form 37S.
no, I'm saying you do not understood my question. My question is this. When you are doing verification, which is the work of the returning officer at the constituency, where you are. At that constituency, I asked you what verification process was being undertaken at the tallying center where you said you are appointed to do. I've asked you, they gave you the original form that said we have agreed on that, 37A. Now, my question is, before that result is accepted by the returning officer as a valid result, were they verified how many voters were identified by the Kimsgate, which is a mandatory process for them to do, so that to ensure that there is no alteration in terms of the numbers? Was that being undertaken is my question.
Yes,
for the agents by IBC?
Yes, they were doing it at the time.
Yes, and now my question then was, you had a tallying sheet, and I've taken you there, and you confirmed that in this tallying and in the information you have, there is nowhere where you have indicated the information that came. You said they were giving you information from the Kimsgate. That information is not here, is that correct?
Okay, I think we seem to be not understanding each other. My tabulation is based on Form 37S.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So it did not anywhere talk about data from the Kimsgate. So it with respect to the content of Form 37S.
Thank you. That one I've agreed. So my question is, now the data from the Kimsgate that would confirm, and that is at the heart of our complaint, how many voters turned to vote in the individual polling stations? Where was that being given at the tallying centers? My question.
Okay, I think I repeat the same answer.
Was that information given?
You see, Your Honor, as to how many persons were registered at respective stations and as to how many had cast their votes validly, we have them on Form 37S.
Oh, that's your answer. Form 37A is just the number of votes, ballots of votes counted at the polling station. Is that correct? That's what it shows. Each vote garnered by each individual candidate. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
But as to the number of voters who were identified through the Kimsgate, that information is not. Look at the form 37A produced. We can go to the nearest one. Look at the document at page 64. We're going to go to that one, number 63. Eddie.
Your Honor.
Just look, I've not asked you a question. Just wait, I asked you the question.
I want to explain something before you proceed.
Answer my question, you can explain. You know I've given you a room.
Okay, so you're referring me to?
Look at page 61, Adanawale Primary School. This form is the IBC results declaration form at the polling station. Is that correct?
Yes.
Does this form have anywhere, just look at it, where the people identified through the Kimsgate are indicated in that form?
From the look of the content of and the respective cells, I cannot see anywhere where it ought to have been indicated.
Yeah, that's true, and that's correct.
I cannot see anywhere it ought to have been
It should be indicated. So that information will not be here. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Two, does this form, it's a result declaration form, we agree, and there's no dispute about that. Does it indicate how many voters were identified through any other means other than the Kimsgate?
This specific form?
It does not. Is that correct?
No, it does not.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Yes, this one you looked at it, and then there was information in the Kimsgate, because those two are meant to marry, as in the information that in terms of voters who turned up to vote and what is in the 37A have to be verified. Was that process undertaken at the tallying center?
I think from the look of things,
Yes.
what you are questioning is the configuration of the IBC Form 37S. In the sense that you are insinuating that from the inception, IBC had missed out cells to populate additional data. That's where KIMSKID will come into play.
I'm saying they're both complementary. One complements the other. One is about voter identification, and this is about the ballots that were counted from the ballot box. Is that correct? This is just about what was in the ballot box. Is that correct? And this is what was counted.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah, that's correct. And I'm not saying that you and I didn't decide this, so no one has to tell us about
the
this.
point here that you're
Yes.
putting across is that
I'm asking
IBC,
questions.
from the point of procurement and design, lost the plot, which I think is not something that I can talk about. That's not a fair sort of statement.
That was not what I'm just trying
That's
to
what
say.
you insinuated there.
You said IBC has many problems. That's not one of them. The design and all that is not for you. That's a policy decision. That I'm not. In all fairness, I can't ask. What I'm saying, by looking at this form only, you cannot get any information on how many voters turned out to vote and were identified through the KIMS. That's what I'm saying. And that is the process that you and the other tallying agents were doing at the tallying center. Is that correct?
Please repeat that.
I'm saying this form 37A comes from different polling stations. The returning officer cannot change this information. Is that correct?
Not at all.
He cannot. But he can reject any form if this form does not reflect the true process in his polling station in terms of how many voters turned out to vote. Because it happens in some polling stations that presiding officers do not discharge their mandate according to what IBC has trained them. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and that is a verification as they're returning. That's why the forms are returned to him and the KIMS kit is returned to him. That's why it's called a returning officer. So they can now give the actual vote that turned out. My question that I was asking is because of what you say in paragraph 19, was that process undertaken at the tallying center? Were the agents present, sometimes you're not there, given the data in the KIMS kit is my question.
Okay. You see, the data in the KIMS kit.
That's a simple yes or no. Why are you given for each polling station the data in the KIMS kit?
Please repeat that.
Okay, I'll repeat it. At the tallying center for Wajir West, and I'm only asking you about that one, was the returning officer giving the agents present the information from the KIMS kit so that they can verify it against the Form 37A? Was that information given to all the agents present?
Yes.
It was given?
Yes.
And where was it? How was that being done?
Of course, you see, once they show the Form 37As,
Yes.
it will, of course, they will double check with
No, the question is very simple. How are they giving you the data from the KIMS kit?
of course, you see the hall is quite big and spacious, so
I've never
they
been there, so
were
tell me.
that these are the respective Form 37As.
Yes, that's 7 we've agreed. And then the data from the KIMS kit, what data were they giving you?
You see, the data from the KIMS kit,
Yes.
together with the Form 37As, have been sort of confirmed, I presume, together in the respective polling stations.
No, just, this is my question here. What data were they giving to the agents of the tallying center? It's a simple question.
They were not producing a data equivalent
Thank
to
you.
the form of a Form 37A.
Okay, so, and lastly, so they were not telling you, were they even confirming how many voters had been supervisor approved or how many were given signed from 32As? Was that information being given?
The data that were, of course, being read aloud for the respective polling stations
Yes.
was the tabulation and the summary of Form 37As.
Only. That is only information that we're giving, reading aloud, and people are verifying. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, just two areas, and then I finish with you, Mr. Hussein, in terms, because you've confirmed what happened at the tallying center, and you confirmed what happened in terms of the results when you received them. Just two more questions. In terms of you have addressed, not really attacked, but addressed the petitioner's claim regarding the statistics that he gave. My question to you, Mr. Hussein, what was your understanding of the claim pleaded by the petitioner from paragraph 27 to 50 on the figures that were given in terms of the numbers? What, in a brief, what was your understanding, what you're addressing in your petition?
Check the petitions.
I'm saying, just your brief. You know, the petitioner gave, you can give him paragraph 27, the one about the numbers, because you have answered that in your polling station, so then I can ask you, so it's in fairness. That is pleaded from paragraph, Lord, this is from paragraph 28, from paragraph 30. Let's go to paragraph 30, you have it? Then 30 goes together with 31, 32, 33, before you get to 34, up to 33. Just briefly, what was your understanding of that process? I mean, of that complaint. If you don't understand it, I'll leave it.
Yes, you can see paragraph 30.
Yes, the petitioner's complaint regarding the turnout is married together with the issue about supervised votes and the use of Kim's kit. So my question, what did you understand to be the petitioner's complaint that you answered in these paragraphs in your affidavit? In paragraph, if that question is not clear, you can ask it. In paragraphs, you answered this.
You are referring to which my paragraph?
At 10, 9, you started. You said the allegations made by the petitioner are untrue, far-fetched, and unfounded, as the votes declared by the IEBC are accurate and verifiable. I'm referring to paragraph 9. What of those allegations in the petition are untrue, far-fetched, and unfounded? That's my question. What were you answering to?
Okay. I wish you had started with my paragraph 9. However,
started with paragraph 9 in the morning or now?
it's okay. It's okay. Let's go back to 10.
Yes. What did you understand to be the petitioner's complaint?
What I said is, before I mention what I understood, insofar as the petitioner alleges that the first respondent garnered more than 90% of the votes cast in the selected polling stations, I state that there is nothing untoward and unusual about this.
Yes.
The petitioner, however, is biased, is statistically dishonest, and mathematically incorrect in his assertion. This is because he deliberately ignored the following facts.
Okay, just pause there.
So
let me ask you, turn to that part of the petition so that you look at the table at page 13 of that information incorrect.
So you want me to read out this paragraph 30?
13, no, page 13. You're saying the assertions there. Is that the information given there incorrect? You looked at those figures of the petition. Or is that correct? Just the figures in terms of the percentage.
Yes. Very incorrect.
They're very incorrect, yes. What is, look at Arbajahan Primary.
Allow me to explain why it's
just
incorrect.
listen to my question and then you can answer me. Is just look at Arbajahan.
I think you were asking why I said he's incorrect.
No, I asked you whether the information put here is incorrect. You said yes.
I said it's statistically incorrect.
That's fine. I'm taking you to the numbers, or those are not statistics. So just look at Arbajahan Primary School. You looked at the form 37A. I just confirmed to the judge. I'm just taking you to 3 polling stations in the 3 different wards. In Arbajahan, the first one, just the primary stream 1, did Honorable Ahmed Jir get 323 votes?
323, absolutely yes.
Out of, were the votes cast in that polling station 45?
Exactly.
And is that percentage 93.6 or is that incorrect? What is
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. Then, and that has been computed for all those pollings. These are just the ones that have been. It was not for all the Wajir West polling stations, the ones identified in the petition, the ones that are in the petition. Is any of this? You've had time to look at them in paragraph 32 incorrect in terms of the numbers.
You're asking me how they were incorrect?
No, if any of them are incorrect in terms of the numbers garnered by Ahmed Jir and the percentage of the votes.
Yes, they're incorrect.
How many have you identified in your affidavit? Just tell us. Look at your affidavit. Do you have a table different from the one by the petitioner?
Yes.
Where is your table?
Allow me to, Your Honor, take you to that same page 13.
Okay.
Some two respective stations in which largely
of what?
Of the petition.
13 of the petition, which largely informed my insinuation
Okay.
to say that the petitioner was statistically dishonest.
2 out of?
Statistics means probability.
Okay.
It's not 100%.
Okay. Which one is that one?
So, Your Honor, allow me to take you to a station called Kubeisuru. That is on page 13. Maybe
Yes.
we can check together.
I'm looking at it. That's after Walafi Center.
Okay. How many are the valid votes cast in that station?
It's indicated 283,
How many did the first respondent get?
278. Is that incorrect?
Allow me to finish, please.
No, I'm just asking you.
These two are correct.
You are not asking questions.
You don't ask me questions.
Your Honor, thanks for the intervention.
What
Your Honor, here, this write-up from the petitioner.
You're
For
contesting
this-
the one for the petitioner. The one for the petitioner.
No, allow me
Let him
to
explain.
Yes.
allow me to explain, please. For this respective station, there are two worrying errors that are seen here. One, the number of the number of votes cast is 283. The first respondent had gotten 278. So with all fairness, the difference between 283 that were cast, the first respondent had gathered 278, the difference is only 283 less 278,
That's
they
eight.
get 3 votes.
3 what?
In this petition, the petitioner alleges that he had gotten 71 votes, which is absolutely weird.
No, the question is.
Allow me to finish why
Let me just ask you. The percentage at the
So,
end refers to.
No, we're not about the percentage. We're talking about what the petitioner alleges to have gotten here. He's
In
saying,
fact, it was given less. Just tell us how many.
allow me to finish.
Yes, I mean, you to finish by answering my question.
The
How
vote
many
that
was the
were
petition
cast,
given? Was it what?
the votes were cast is 283.
Yes.
The votes that the first respondent had gotten is 278. In his petition, he has documented that he had gotten 271, which I cannot tell
Where
how
is
this was
71?
procured or sourced.
You mean-
He mentioned 71,
Yes.
which I think for any logical sense and common sense, 283 less 278 is not 71, but rather only 3.
But that's, as you know, when you're talking about statistics, there are 9 candidates. We're not talking about 2 candidates. So that even that assumption
Okay.
is not correct. Is that correct?
Your Honor, I also refer you to
Just before you go to the next one, just confirm to the judge 2 things on that figure. Just confirm 2 things. Is the 278 correct for Honorable Ahmed Jir?
I will refer you to 37A.
Just look at it. Is it correct?
Your Honor, on this account, I will refer you to page 67 of my affidavit. I refer you to page 67 of my affidavit,
Okay, that's what
which talks about, which has the form 37
Yes,
A
yes.
attached.
At page 60?
Page 67.
67. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm looking for mine.
On page 67,
Yes.
which is the form 37A produced by the electoral institution.
This is by you. Yeah, I mean the one you've attached to your affidavit.
This is a document of the electoral body. That's
Yes.
form 37A.
Yes.
So it clearly indicates that yes, the registered voters were 355. That yes, Governor Jiri garnered 281 votes were validly cast. That Governor Jiri garnered 278 votes. That the petitioner garnered 1 vote. So now this begs the question, Your Honor, if he had sourced, or rather his respective agent at the station had given him these copies of Form 37As. Under what circumstances can he allege that on one side he has produced, I'm sure on his affidavits and the claims, the Form 37As, but on the petition itself is alleging that he had gotten 71 votes. More frustrating, Your Honor, and weird, is the fact that this has been signed by his agent, that is one Mr. Isaac Dees of the Jubilee Party.
Are you finished? So I can ask you my question? You're making a statement, so I'll let you make it. Is the percentage calculated in that paragraph incorrect? If you calculate 278 out of 281, what percentage does it give you? You didn't calculate, I thought so.
No, it will give you that 97. 90.9. It will give you that percent.
What percent? 98.9?
Yes.
And you confirm that, look at that page 67, other than the petitioner who got 1 and Elmi who got 2, all the other candidates got 0 in that polling station, is that correct?
Undoubtedly, yes.
Yes. And that was a complaint that this was a disproportionately high number. So you confirm that the percentage is correct, 98.9, is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you, sir. No, so I just what did you understand to be the complaint by the petitioner that you are answering to?
Okay, the petitioner alleged that two things. One, he had alleged that the voter turnout in Wajir West
was high,
was at 64%.
Yes.
Which I think is nothing untoward, or it's not anything misleading.
Yes, you have 68.89.
Your Honor, the petitioner hails from Wajir East as well as Tarbaj constituency. That's where his circle resides. These respective polling stations, for Tarbaj constituency, the voter turnout was at 75%.
To say,
while for Wajir East, the voter turnout was at 63%.
Said, you know, that statement. I don't even come to where all the candidates came in. My question to you was, what did you understand to be the petitioner's complaint in those paragraphs in the petition that you are saying are baseless? What did you understand? What were you answering to?
Okay, the allegation here is that one, why was the turnout at 64%, and why in some select polling stations the petitioner had, the governor candidate, that is G, had garnered substantial votes in his strongholds.
Oh, so that is what you are answering to in your affidavit, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. On the other complaints in the petition, the statistics in the petition, is that correct?
Okay, I think I'll be very much clear with you on this. You see, I was appointed as the chief agent for Wajir West as a constituency,
yes,
not any other constituency. However, Your Honor, there are pages, these many pages that the council is talking about with respect to other electoral jurisdictions. Wajir East, I can see some to do with.
And I didn't ask you about this.
I can see Wajir East.
Okay.
I can see Eldas. I can see Wajir West. Yeah. So because that I was the chief agent for Wajir West, that's why I narrowed down myself to answer allegations pertaining to Wajir West.
Remember, you're not a custodian, and I agree, but you said these statistics were read out and they were confirmed at the tallying center. Is that true? You said that to the judge.
Correct.
And I'm saying, now we have given these statistics here, and you are very good at correcting us where we were wrong. Now, where have you responded to this complaint at page 17 to 19, giving the different statistics? Why is it in your affidavit?
Remember, the petition was against the two parties, as the electoral body as well as my candidate.
Yeah.
So my candidate as well as the electoral body have exhaustively responded, Your Honor, to this allegation. That's why I have concentrated my energy onto the Form 37A part of the allegation.
Sir, thank you. So said the answer, and I hear what you're saying, is that one, your affidavit is silent on that complaint where you have the information at the tallying center. You did not controvert that in your affidavit. Is that true? You did not address that in your affidavit. Just say yes. I
you are pushing a yes. That is paragraph which paragraph?
I was at paragraph 37, and then I asked you to look at page 20. What is being complained of is at paragraph 37, and then at page 20 and 21 are the figures that the petition has presented to the court. You have not answered that in your affidavit, is that correct? As a chief agent, who got this information at the time?
I think I'm lost. Will you please repeat that?
Sorry, if you look at, sorry, Ahmed, sorry, Hussein, for that. If you look at paragraph 37, are we together? 37? The complaint by the petitioner is that the Kim's kit were not proper. You've said at paragraph 19 they were used. So this is where I'm saying your affidavit had addressed this. And then Wajir County, and there was therefore no biomedical sequence results in the following polling station not verified and should be deducted from the total. And then there are some polling stations that have been done there. Among those ones are polling stations from both Elders and some from Wajir West. Is that correct?
Okay.
Some,
you ask.
yes, some of them are from your polling station, some are not. Is that correct? And specifically,
Unfortunately, all these are for elders.
Elders. And
However,
paragraph 48.
However, if you're asking whether I address anything that revolves around item 38, that is paragraph 38.
Yes, paragraph 38.
I mean paragraph 37.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. You address that in paragraph 19?
Apparently, the petitioner had alleged that the third respondent did not deploy the use of King's kit in the conduct of the election within several polling stations in the entire Wajir County. But now that I have concentrated on Wajir West, Your Honor, I addressed this on paragraph 19, in which I had clearly mentioned earlier that it is far-fetched that voters were not identified by the King's kit. I am aware that based on my observation of the voting activity and the process at the respective polling stations, and from the hourly report that I've been getting from agent that we deployed in the polling stations, like that the King's kit were used to identify and were otherwise in instances where the voter biometrics could not be deceived.
11, 10, I've read all that. What I'm asking you is that you have read everything and you had already told the judge you got this information at the accounting center. What I'm asking is that you have not addressed is that paragraph 50, is that correct?
Can we read together what's paragraph 50 saying?
Yes, paragraph 50. This is a complaint. The third and fourth, first confirm these polling stations here are the ones in Wajir West, so that I ask you a fair question.
Paragraph
50, yes, at page 29.
Yes, they are.
All of them up to Makarod Primary, is that correct? All this is Wajir West.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Now, this is a complaint in paragraph 50, that the third and fourth respondents abused the electoral process by inflating the numbers through the use of supervisor method for voter identification. In a number of polling stations in Wajir County, the third respondent, through its presiding officer, irregularly authorized and permitted a disproportionate number of voters to vote without being biometrically identified through the King's kit. Your petitioner averts that the voters were irregularly validated through the supervisor option without the corresponding Form 32As and or supervisor validation form being filled and procedures complied with. As a result, then 1,000 were unlawfully and irregularly authorized to vote in the following polling stations to the benefit of the first respondent and to the detriment of your petitioner. That is a complaint that we have made in this petition, and I'm saying in your affidavit where you are calculating and you have statistics, you do not answer that. Is that correct?
I think, Your Honor, this paragraph 50 is not doing justice to mathematics. Because you see, when you talk about this proportion, it is relative. It's not absolute.
Okay, so that's semantics
So,
now.
Can we go into the details, please?
So, in Azerbaijan, were the supervised voters 40?
Were they?
I'm asking. This is the information we give. IBC has responded, but you were there when they were reading the statistics. So I'm asking, your affidavit doesn't address this. Is that correct? If it does, identify to the judge where you have addressed that as a chief agent in your affidavit.
Address on things to do with the King's kit or what?
King's kit and the supervised voting, you have not said anything about that, have you?
That one I did not.
Thank you very
But
much.
I mentioned that IBC had the alternative mechanisms and the voters were assisted and documented accordingly.
Thank you. Hussein, thank you very much for your evidence. That will be all on behalf of the petitioner. My lord, that's the end of the cross-examination on behalf of my client.
So I'll ask you a few questions relating to your affidavit. I'll ask you a few questions relating to the evidence you have given to the court.
Okay.
So since I will start where my learned friend Mr. Issa Mansour stopped. I want you to look at page 17. The lordship of the petition. It's 17 of the petition. Okay? Are you there? Wajir West. I'm interested in Wajir West constituency. Are you there?
Sure.
You are asked, to your knowledge, will you know how identification is done using the electronic mechanism that the IEBC uses?
Sure.
IEBC will start using a fingerprint mechanism. Is that? Will you confirm that to the court?
Sure.
And if the fingerprint mechanism does not work, IEBC will resort to biographical data, what many people are inadvertently referring to alphanumeric. So
Absolutely.
they will put your name, Hussein, and your name will come up with your details, and then they will allow you to vote through that mechanism.
That's in order.
So both the fingerprint, biometric, the other details, biographic, those details will reside in the King's key,
Absolutely.
right? So anyone, and the second aspect is that for the biographic or the alphanumeric, it will need a supervisor's override. Will you know whether the kit will tell the supervisor to validate that this person that they have seen the biographic is the person who the KIMS is showing?
Indeed, yes.
So both the biometric data and the biographic data, which the people are referring to as the supervisor's override, will reside in the kit.
Absolutely.
Okay. What happens to if a person cannot be identified through those two methods? What will the PO do? Will you know?
I think they will refer to the main register.
To the manual, what we
Manual
call
register.
what you are referring to as
The main register. Or
Is that what you are referring to as complementary?
Yes, complementary.
So
yes.
they will refer to the main register.
That's
right?
main register.
Okay. Will that data of the main register, the manual process, reside in the KIMS key?
I presume.
How will it reside? Because
Sorry.
will that data,
please put up the question again.
will that, so you say the fingerprint data, the biometric and the biographic, if you look at the kit, you will get it. If a person cannot be found in the kit, both his biometric and biographic, but he's still a voter, and then you say the PO will likely tell him to look at the manual register.
Yes, that's the third resolution.
That is the third resolution.
Absolutely.
And likely look for him at the register, his picture and ID. And maybe what does he do? Does he cross out his name when he's voting?
Yes.
He's voting, right?
Yes.
Will that information on the people who voted through that manual register reside in the KIMS key?
Of course not.
Of course not. Very well. I want you to show you page 17 of the petition. Are you there?
That is okay. I'm there.
Are there? You want to look at that data? That is the Mr. Learned Counsel was vehemently showing you about that data.
Yes.
Can you look at that data?
Yes, I can see.
Can you see, for example, Arbajahan 2, which you referred to, can you read for the court what is the Form 37A? the number on Bajahan 2. Just the data. I just want you to read. Don't take a lot of time on the A itself. Just read what is in the table.
It shows 345.
Form 37A.
Yes, Form 37A.
345, right?
Yes.
And the King's kit?
343.
This is their data, but I just want to rely on it. I'm not saying it's your data. Or
Initially, I had disputed.
yeah, but it's their data. It's okay. Their data. It's theirs. So the King's, it also refers to a King's data, right? Can you read for the code?
It's alleged to be a King's data.
Yeah, what can you read for the code? I know.
343.
343, right?
Yes.
So that King's data will be both the biometric and the biographic, you will say, what they are referring to as supervisor's mode. Both of them, right?
Yes.
What is the difference between what is the Form 37A and the King's data?
Here I see 2.
2.
Yes.
Is it statistically, because you are a man of maths and you've used a lot of terms of statistics and logic, is it statistically absurd for, in a polling station which had 345 people, for 2 people to be identified using the manual register?
This is within the norms?
Within the norms, 2 people, right?
Yes.
Can you go to the second one? Haddad or no?
Yes.
How many people, what is the difference?
I see Haddad or not, Form 37A, 421, and the alleged King's kit, 418, a difference of 4 votes, a difference of 3.
3 votes.
Yes.
Is it absurd for 3 people to be identified through a manual process?
This is within a tolerable level.
Look at Hagdima primary. How many people, what is the difference?
Where? Like demo.
Yeah, Hagdima. I'm just going sequentially, primary one. What is the difference?
Here I see Form 37A, 254.
Yes.
Against the alleged King's kit,
Yes.
245.
Yes.
A difference of 9.
So is it ridiculous to,
Not at all.
for 9 people to have voted, right?
Not at all.
And on and on and on. So to their answer, and this is what we want you to clarify for the court is, even with these alleged King's returns you have looked at for Wajir West, you looked at them, I want you to look at them again. Is there anything untoward from the differences that they have even shown the court to show that there is people who will not have appeared during the polling day will have cast their vote? Is there an issue on the turnout as they are raising? Because that seems to be their main gravamen of the dispute.
I think there's nothing untoward.
There's nothing untoward. Looking at even at their King's data together with the differential, right? For at least.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I want you to refer to your affidavit. Look at paragraph 10 of the affidavit. You are there?
Yes.
Okay. There is this argument, and it is good you are here before. You are the chief. You say you are the chief agent for what? For which constituency?
Jurist.
For the first respondent.
Yes.
Okay. There is this argument that there has been an abnormal voter turnout in some polling stations and some wards, and even in Wajir West. What do you have to say that to the court?
I think it's only fair, Your Honor, that it comes out clear that this governor candidate at that point in time, which is now the governor for the county, happens to be he comes from Wajir West as a constituency. That is his mother constituency. That is his stronghold. This governor candidate has 20 years experience in active politics. He has been running in elective politics since the year 2007. Unlike apparently the petitioner who hopped onto the election bus 20 weeks to the election. So 20 weeks and 20 years are not anywhere comparable. This to say that Governor Jir had garnered and formed so much support base in his mother stronghold in a span of 20 years. So for every other election, for those respective polling stations that have been mentioned, he had been getting substantial votes.
Is it
So it's not abnormal for him to have gotten some substantial votes.
is it, I want you to also look at paragraph 13 of the affidavit. Is it comparable? How many, and this one, is it comparable what the Wajir got with what the petitioner and the other parties who are contesting with him, who come from the same family, got in their stronghold? Is it something that's comparable? Look at paragraph 13 of the affidavit, please.
From what I read, yes, it is comparable in the sense that every other candidate from the respective
Look at paragraph 13 of the affidavit.
please, you want me to read out aloud?
No, I just want you to look at it first. I want that percentage number. Well, it's
Yes.
important for the court.
Yes.
It's comparable as to what percent according to you?
This is an average of 85%.
85%. So Dr. Hassan and these other candidates from his community got 85, will get 85% in Wajir and Tarbet constituency.
Yes.
I want you to look at paragraph 14, we are pressed for time. When you say even the Mr. Ibrahim Ali, the candidate from Wajir North, what in certain polling stations he got in excess of what? Where his community live?
He got way more than.
Can you look at paragraph 14? I want that number, please.
Similarly, Dr. Ali had garnered in excess of 90% from his stronghold, which is Wajir North constituency. On a similar note, Mr. Ahmed Mukhtar Ali had garnered in excess of 85% of the vote cast in his motherland sort of background. That's Wajir West constituency. Wajir South constituency, which is deemed to be his home constituency.
So it seems that each candidate, from where they originally come from, in certain polling stations and in certain wards, because their community and their family members live there, will get overwhelming support.
Absolutely.
What will you say are the wards or the constituencies where the support of Mr. Ahmed Gir is concentrated? Will it be Wajir West?
Yes, Wajir West.
In which wards?
The three main wards is Magala ward,
Okay.
and the Bohol Hadado ward,
Is that one of the wards that they are challenging?
as well as Bajan Drift ward.
Those two wards.
These are the two wards that they are.
The two wards they are challenging are where the small family members, the many family members, not small of Mr.
Of course,
Gir comes from.
his immediate kith and kin,
Immediate kith and kin.
in other languages.
Yeah, okay. That's what they are challenging.
Allow me also to maybe mention something on that. Yeah.
Yes. You can mention.
Yeah. You see, on the same paragraph, I think 10, there's something that the petitioner was not honest about.
Paragraph 10
Of my petition, of
of
my
the affidavit.
affidavit. Yeah?
Yes. Can you
That's where I
clarify to the court?
Yes.
And a few polling stations where his family live.
Very few, because
Okay.
of the 102 polling stations, Ahmed had garnered more than maybe 80% in very few polling stations, way below maybe 20 or so polling stations, implying that the other 80 polling stations, he garnered an average of what was possible then. Now,
So this is not a representative. What you are saying, do I put it to you? Is this a representative sample? What has been brought before the court by the petitioner? Will you say this is a representative sample?
they were biased with facts.
It's a bias sample.
Biased with facts.
Biased with fact.
Now, on that note, Your Honor, you see, I was clear here. I said, of course, it's a long story, but I said this is because the petitioner had deliberately ignored the following facts. Wajir West, where I was in charge as the chief agent, had a total of, Your Honor, 31,234 registered votes, of which 31,234 234 registered votes, of which only 21,519, which is around 68%, were validly cast. I had gone ahead and said, of the 21,519 valid votes that were cast, the first respondent, that is Governor Ahmed Jir, had garnered only 12,258 votes, which is 56% cumulatively.
So even
This
in-
is just about a simple majority.
So let me put it to you that even in Wajir West, which they are making heavy weather of, the total votes that were garnered by the winning candidate was only 56.87%
Absolutely.
cumulatively.
So yes.
That's important for the court. And also,
So I can maybe repeat this. Of the 31,334 registered votes, the votes that were cast validly are 21,519, which is 68%. Of the valid votes that were cast, which was 21,519, the first respondent, that is Governor Ahmed Jir, had gotten a mere 12,258 votes, which is 56%, and this is a simple majority.
fair enough.
I went ahead and said the other valid votes, which is the difference, running into 10,000 votes, were cumulatively garnered by the other candidates. And that's what I have referred as my Annex AH5.
Right. So to
That's
another-
page
that
168.
is okay. I mean, that's well noted by the court. Now let me ask you, according to your best of knowledge, where does voting take place? Does voting take place at the polling station or at the tallying center?
Voting, of course, takes place at the respective polling stations.
Polling station.
Designated
Very
polling
well.
stations.
Designated, gazetted polling station.
Yes.
Okay, very well, very well. And you testified that if an agent asked for the number of people who voted that day in that polling station, that is information that an IBC will give.
Absolutely, yes.
So, would you know whether the petitioner had agents in polling stations? Maybe you are a chief agent, you met some of them?
In a couple of them he had.
He had.
In others,
So according-
he may not have had.
Yeah, so in some of them he had.
In many of them he had.
In many of them he had.
In many of them he had.
So,
Including
would you-
even the tallying center.
including the tallying center. Farewell. Will you, and the result declaration form, is it something that the IBC will refuse if an agent asks for it?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I mean, that's a public document.
So, if a party came to the, so will you say, if a party came to the tallying center with the information he had asked and given by IEBC on the people, on the number of voters who voted that day, and the 37A, will he be able to raise any question as to the turnout with the RO?
Could you please repeat?
I'm saying, let me rephrase it. So let me take you back, maybe. So you say if someone wanted the information of how many people voted on the voting day at a polling station, is that information that will be given by the IEBC to an agent?
This someone is the agent, right?
Yes, agent.
Yes.
So that information is given by
That is
the agent,
that
okay?
is available.
And if someone requested for the Form 37A, the result declaration, is that something that will be given by the IEBC?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, all of them were taken.
All of them
Photos
are
and
there.
copies here.
Yeah, okay. If anyone had any complaint about the results or the number of people who passed through the polling station, is this something that he could raise with the RO at the tallying center?
If someone had?
Any complaint, either on the Form 37A, the results, or on the number of people who passed through that polling station, is it a complaint that he could easily raise with the RO?
Absolutely.
He could.
Yes.
He could, right?
Absolutely, yes.
He could. At the time you are there as at the tallying center, did you raise any issue as to the Form 37A or as to the number of people who actually appeared in any of those polling stations?
I did not.
You did not.
Yes.
You were there. Were you there for a long time at the tallying center? You were there for.
Yes.
Did you maybe interact with the petitioners, tallying agents at the tallying center?
Of course, for by way of introduction.
Yeah, were they there? Were they there?
Every agent was there.
Every agent was there. Were they
Yeah.
there? They were.
So, and of course, yes, they were all there.
They were all there.
Every other
Did
person
you
was
hear them? Did you hear them at any time complain about any turnout to the RO while you were there?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Yes. And I was
Did you
there
hear?
throughout.
Did you hear them complain about any Form 37A while you were there?
Not at all.
Not at
Because
all.
I was there throughout.
Not at all. Thank you. Your Worship, I'll cede 5 minutes to Mr. Nora. He has 2 questions.
This is a lot of Nora for third and fourth respondent. So perhaps a simple question, Mr. Ahmed. Are you a registered voter?
Absolutely yes.
And you voted?
Absolutely yes.
Where did you vote?
At Wajir Girls High School.
Wajir Girls High School.
Yes.
So you were asked a few questions before as with regards to what you perceived, what you saw, what you heard, what you were physically present for. Okay? So I want to take you through the things that you saw. So at your polling station, you said it's
That's Wajir Girls High School.
Wajir Girls Secondary School. How was the process of voting at the time you were there?
Very smooth. Yes.
Did you experience any problems?
Not at all.
Did you see any voter being sent away?
Not at all.
Did you see any incidents of malpractice, electoral malpractice?
Not at all.
Not at all. It's your testimony that you visited 10 polling stations on that day.
Yes.
That's correct? So within those 10 polling stations, did you witness any electoral malpractice in those 10 polling stations?
None.
Did you see any voter being sent away?
None.
Did you see voters being identified by the KIMS leads?
Did I say?
Voters being identified by the KIMS?
Absolutely yes.
Now, you are also limited to those 10 polling stations that you were present. So, your affidavit speaks of other polling stations. Had you deployed agents all around did you deploy agents in polling stations in Wajir West constituency?
Yes.
Were these agents giving you information as to what was going on in those polling stations?
Yes.
Did that information then inform what you have in your affidavit?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So as a chief agent, what is essentially your role regarding elections?
Okay. I indicated this on my affidavit. I can read it aloud for you.
No problem.
I coordinated the deployment, the reporting, and the coordination of the agents in those respective polling stations.
So similarly, the same way you deployed agents, were other candidates, had other candidates deployed agents in respective polling stations?
Almost every other candidate had deployed their agent on the stations.
Where were you stationed on the 9th of August? Where were you majorly focused on as regards your role?
Okay, thank you. You see, I was the chief agent for the entire constituency. And if you had an opportunity to read my affidavit and the appointment letter, I was appointed with respect to the tallying center, which is briefed to GPTC. That is where the data will be collected once it's done at the polling station. So I was stationed at GBTC, of course, from the later part
At
of
the
the day.
CTC, this is the Constituency Tallying Center.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Constituency Center,
Thank
at
you.
GBTC.
So at the Constituency Tallying Center, electoral materials were coming in. Did any agent complain of issues with the integrity of the electoral materials?
Not at all.
Were there complaints of the seals being broken in the ballot boxes?
Not at all.
Okay. There's a question you were asked, and this was premised on the fact that you are a man of numbers, so I'll just take you to that question. These are the numbers referred to in paragraph 50 regarding supervised voters. Who provided those numbers that you were directed to make reference to?
That is paragraph 50. Sorry, come again. I'm at paragraph 50 now.
Those numbers that you were directed to, who provided those numbers?
The petitioner,
The petitioner. These are not numbers that have been provided by the IBC.
not the defendant.
Would you know that those are numbers provided by the IBC? Would you know from that document?
No,
Does
I
it-
will not, I will not.
Does it show that the numbers are from IBC?
They are not, because
They are
this is a
not.
document from the petitioner.
They're not. Thank you. So, as an agent, can you then speak to those numbers that have been provided by the petitioner, which you do not know where they've come from?
I think, like I mentioned in the morning, this and similar documents that were adduced earlier, I will distance myself because I do not know the authenticity of their source and how they are procured, Your Honor.
There's a question that you asked, and I felt like you're trying to explain it. What were you relying on, or what document were you relying on in terms of the information that you're being given at the CTC? This is at the Constituency Tallying Center,
I was relying on Form 37 as,
Form 37A.
yes,
So not the Kim's Kit.
not the Kim's Kit.
Not the Kim's Kit. So you are relying primarily on the Form 37A, is that correct?
Yes, because you see, the Kim's
Thank
Kit
you.
is the primary document.
That's sufficient. So, again, paragraph 30 of the petition. Sorry. There's a statement that you were directed to, and that is in paragraph 17 of your affidavit. And counsel was very worried with the statement that you had used, which is to say that those numbers are statistically incorrect. Do you remember that incident?
Yes.
So, you are at paragraph 30, correct?
Yes.
So, could you read that aloud, paragraph 30?
Okay, the response now. Okay, paragraph 30 by the petitioner goes as follows. The petitioner avers that there was disproportionate that there was a disproportionately higher turnout of voters in Wajir West constituency at 68.6% compared to the national 64.5%, and for the rest of Wajir County, including the Wajir Upper electoral units. The other glaring anomaly was that in most of the polling stations in Wajir West, the first response.
Could you repeat that? Repeat that. Start that sentence again.
The entire.
That sentence, just that sentence.
The other glaring anomaly was that in most of the polling stations in Wajir West constituency, the first respondent garnered almost 90% of the votes cast.
So it says that in most of the polling stations in Wajir West,
yes,
the first respondent garnered 90%. Is that correct?
Yes,
That's
the
the correct
allegation.
position. Could you look at paragraph 17 of the response for the IEBC? And I want you to look at that table and look at Wajir West. What percentage did the first respondent garner in Wajir West?
56.87%.
So, if someone garnered 90% in most of the polling stations, would I be correct to state that most would mean average? That would be his average percentage?
Most means way more than average.
More than average. So in most of his polling stations, he garnered 90%. Would it then reflect that in the total of that constituency where he garnered in most of them 90%, would it reflect as 57%?
Not at all.
It would not.
I think that's why I said he was biased with facts and not.
So in your affidavit, when you said that the averments as regarding numbers was statistically incorrect, could that be one of the issues that informed that averment in your affidavit?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Nothing further.
Yes, a few questions. Mr. Hussein, we want to clarify a few issues. Can you confirm to the court that you have a background with numbers in terms of training?
Undoubtedly, yes.
And that is why you seem to have a passion about mathematics and numbers.
Of course, yes.
And obviously, I mean, and I think I would be correct to say that mathematics is also about logic
And wisdom.
and wisdom. All right. Wisdom.
A lot of wisdom.
No.
Come from that.
Okay, now
True, that's why I ended it.
can you confirm that as the chief agent for the first respondent, you received all the results of 100 polling stations?
Yes, I can confirm this.
And that is what you've attached in your affidavit as a response to the allegations about Wajir West.
Yes. In page 58 to 158.
Page 58 to 158.
Yes.
All right. That is now the documents that you sourced from your agents.
Absolutely.
And these are the primary forms that contain the results for this constituency?
Yes, sir.
Now, you indicated that when you were questioned about paragraph 19, that I think that was paragraph 19 of your affidavit. That is why you indicate that you are indeed you visited about 10 stations.
Yes.
And can you confirm to this court that in those 10 polling stations, you were able to observe what was going on?
Yes, I was able to observe.
And from your observation, did you see anything untoward that was worthy to comment in terms of how the voters were casting their votes, how the polling stations were generally?
Your Honor, I did not witness any anomaly whatsoever.
Okay. Now, you were asked about KIMS, that about KIMS kits, still on paragraph 19. In the polling stations that you visited, and in the reports you received from your agents, did you get any information of a malfunction of the KIMS?
What, of course, I may have gotten was that in instances where the biometrics may not have worked,
Yes.
IEBC had ignited the next resolution, which was to identify the voters biometrically.
So, so there was no voter who was turned away from exercising their right?
None at all.
Now, I want you to go to, you have a petition?
Yes.
Paragraph 34. Right. You have it.
No, I think we're using that. Sorry.
Oh, you're using this?
Yes. We can go, I think.
You want petition?
Oh, let me give you.
You want the petition?
No, I have, let me show you. Paragraph 34, at page 17. Yes, I see, yes, paragraph 34 at page 17 of the petition.
Okay, there we are.
Okay, there. Now, can you confirm that the paragraphs that you counted in that polling station was it 23? 23 polling stations that Mr. Issa pointed you?
Yes, the earlier count was at
23.
Yes.
So that we go to the specifics, and the discrepancies at paragraph 34 of those 23 polling stations is just with respect to 123 votes. Can you see that?
100.
Let me see. I think there's a bit of just a minute. Okay. Now, the paragraph 34, you asked a question about para 34 of the petition, isn't it?
Yes,
Para 34.
yes.
You there?
Yes,
Is this the case where you pointed out that the polling stations that were affected, were, I mean, the polling stations from your count were 23? Was it the petition or the
you're
affidavit?
referring to the mathematics that I was talking about?
Yes, the polling stations.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But also I think paragraph 33,
Yeah, we mentioned 23 polling station, page 17.
Your Honor, I think even paragraph 33 will come into play.
Okay, thank you.
Page 17. These are what these are mentioned. This.
Oh, that appears at page 17
Yeah, the 23 polling
to
station.
page 19. Okay? For Wajir West. That is what you are asked.
Yes.
You see that?
So it was in 10.
This is the place where you say that there was a bit of a, is it a bias in terms of how these polling stations were picked?
Yes.
If you can just briefly explain to the court what you mean.
You see, I think I will refer you to, if you don't mind,
Yes.
alongside this,
Yes.
I'll refer you to one of my annexes
Yes.
about the voter turnout in Wajir.
Yes.
Yes.
The one that is at which page?